what Jed York said about Christian McCaffrey was the living end. So Jed essentially came out, in my opinion, to remind everyone to give him credit. And he was asked about the Christian McCaffrey trade. Like, was it tough for you to okay the trade? All those resources. And he laughs and he's like, actually, Kyle was the one that thought it was too expensive.
Yep.
Kyle was the one that was like, man, that's a lot for a running back.
That's too much.
And Jed really stood there and was like, me and John were like, yeah, but that's the best. Yeah, he's a great. It's not too much for Christian McCaffrey. So Jed actually stood up there in front of everyone today and bragged about having more foresight on the Christian McCaffrey trade. He even said, he was like, look, Kyle, do you want us to have him or the Rams?
Or the Rams.
Dude.
Like, he was feeling himself. Like, I'm like, okay,
I'm sorry, Jed. I can't. I'm really supposed to believe that you went head to head with Kyle Shanahan on this trade
and told Kyle, no,
we're doing the trade, Kyle.
He probably said it.
We're doing the trade.
He probably said it and then like went behind John and was like, yeah, John, tell him.
Man.
To his point, how has Kyle matured throughout the years since he's been here? And he said, matured?
Matured? Ha
So yeah, man, it was interesting.
So according to Jed, Kyle was too chicken to trade for Christian McCaffrey, and Jed had to step in and be like, let me show you how a man does it or something. Let me show you how me and my Hall of Fame friend John
had these issues with Jim. I had these issues with Jim, and I had to put my foot down, Kyle. Let me show you how it goes. We're going to get CMC.
And he said CMC is the best player in the world, and that Kyle didn't want him. So essentially, if the Niners win the Super Bowl, it's you got to credit Jed.
Yeah, you have to.
Is it not?
Yeah, it was a lot, man. Kyle told him that Brock was the man before the start of Trey Lance's first rookie season and before they went and got Jimmy, and while Nate Sudfeld was still on the team.
Yeah.
That's clairvoyance, boy.
Yeah, man.
It is. It's impressive. It's impressive.
It's like, here's my question with this Jed thing today. Do you think Corey Rush, the Niners PR director, good guy, walked up to the Niners CEO today and was like, Jed, I think it'd be a good idea if you talk to the media today. You think Corey's got that kind of pull, just waltz into Jed's office and be like, hey, Jed, need you. Or do you think Jed just walked downstairs and was like, I am in a great mood. Let's talk. I want to talk.
Yeah.
How come no one asked me to? It's like, man, did anyone ask you to do this? Did you need to do this? Because it's now it's Jed York Day. What is this? February 1st, 2024 is Jed York Day. Forget anything else anyone said. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Kyle Shanahan. Jed spoke. The owner. For the first time since March. What did he say? Oh, he spoke for Kyle. That's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you know what's just
I love Kyle so much.
You know what's cute about this is that like Jed spoke, right? And to be honest, dude, like Jed's a billionaire. So like, and you can tell kind of like how when you talk about people who like people have a vested interest in, they almost you get the energy as if like you can't talk about him. He owns a football team. Who are you to critique and see the words that who do you think that's Jed York? Who are you? Yeah. Who do you think you are to talk about a guy that has money? That guy's rich. You need to just shut your mouth.
This is what I do for a living.
His moral compass is bathed in Bitcoin, diamonds, and golden bars. You need to shut your filthy mouth up, you commoner.
Ask the Santa Clara mayor about. He had a question about that too.
Yeah.
I don't really know that story, but I know the Chronicle's been all over it. I think he like really, I don't even know, but he got a question about some local politics stuff and he was not prepared for it. He just stood there. He's like, could I get a football question? Like, what do you mean football question? You're not a coach. You're an owner. You can't talk business? Why?
Because he wanted to talk about
the
football.
Coordinator of the team. He was standing there talking like, hey, on this team, we put most of our resources on defense, because Kyle, he's working so hard on offense. We don't need to
Yeah. Instead, we don't spend high draft picks on them. We customarily don't super high.
Tell us the difference between cover 3 and cover 4, real quick. Jed, explain to us a wide 9 defensive front. I want to know.
He's too busy wanting to play during the games because watching is too much anxiety. You want to be able to do something about it, Grant.
Split belly zone. Tell me what duo is. What are you talking about? Football philosophy. Don't do that. You don't know what we do over here. I wanted Christian McCaffrey. Man, you write checks. And apparently you tell stories.
Great ones.
I just feel like, hey man, what do you think Kyle Shanahan thought of what Jed said today? After listening to it. You think he liked it?
No.
You think he was happy about that?
It was real like shoulder to shoulder. Like, I'll put it like this. In terms of talking about the team, I would expect Jed to talk top down because it's his team, right? Yeah. I expect that. Like, I expect in terms of talking about infrastructure, direction, what's happening, the pulse of where the organization is going. Like, I expect all of that from Jed, and to be able to sit down and really like listen to what he has to say, because that is in his wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. But this was a football conversation that Jed had, and he was talking as if he was a football guy. And it was interesting.
A player and a coach and a coordinator.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Wow. I guess so Kyle's done a really good job of making Jed feel like one of the guys.
Yeah,
almost too good of a job. He's got Jed feeling like he's a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle does that. He does that a lot for people, right? He explains the game so well. You come away feeling like you understand too, and really you just know kind of Kyle's perspective, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
His players do that too.
It was interesting, man.